Cert and Indices Practice Exam Question 19. Find the value of A, the value of B, and the value for C. So the first thing we need to be thinking about is just by looking at the left-hand side. Now, the reason why we need to just look at the left-hand side is because when we solve that, we will get it into that form. So the first thing I want to think about before I do anything is I just want to rationalize it. If I rationalize both sides, it's going to get rid of the cert. So let's look at both sides. I've pulled it apart. So the left-hand side, I just want to rationalize, which means I'm going to be timesing it by the square root of 3 plus 1. Now, if you know your quadratics, then you will know that if I have A plus B timesing with A minus B, it turns into A squared minus B squared. And that's the form that I am using straight away to make my life easier. So if we're using that, then that means my denominator over here is going to end up being square root of 3 times squared, which is 3, and minus 1 squared. So 3 minus 1 is 2. Likewise, my numerator, I've got 2 square root 2 times square root 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So we 2 square root of 6. And then I've got 2 square root 2 times 1. So which is plus 2 square root of 2. So the next thing I want to do with this one is I want to get the common factor out of the 2. So that means if I take the common factor out, I've got 2 in brackets square root 6 plus square root 2, and I'm dividing it by 2. Because I'm timesing and dividing by 2, the 2's are cancelled. And that leaves me with square root 6 plus square root 2. And you can already see we're starting to get it into the form that we want it in. So let me look at the next part of our equation. Same, I would like to have a think about getting and rationalizing this. So to start off here, the first thing I'm going to do is times it by square root 2 minus 1. Based on our understanding of quadratics, as I've explained, we know the denominator must be squared, so square root 2 squared, which is 2, and minus b squared. So b squared is 1 squared, which is 1. 2 minus 1 is just 1. Then I look at the top, and I've got 2 square root 3, and it also must times with square root 2 minus 1. So I've got 2 square root 3 times square root 2 is square root 6. And then I've also got 2 square root 3 times negative 1 is negative 2 square root 3. Because it's just dividing by 1, it's doing nothing. So I don't need that dividing. Now, as I put this down here, we need to just make sure that we know that the takeaway sign is taking that negative sign there is applying to everything in the green. So because of that, I'm putting brackets around it just so we don't make a mistake. Now, I'm just going to expand it out of the brackets and apply that negative here with everything inside the bracket. So it's saying negative in front of the 2 square root 6 is negative 2 square root 6. And then I've also got here negative in front of the negative 2 square root 3 becomes a positive 2 square root 3. Now we can look at the common factors here. We've got square root 6 and we've got negative 2 square root 6. So 1 take away 2 lots of square root 6 is negative square root 6. And then I've just got plus square root 2 plus 2 square root 3. Now we've got it in this form, we should be able to clearly work out what is A, B, and C. So here I can see A must equal 1. B must equal negative. B must equal 2, and C must equal negative 1.